Continuing our discussion of different genres of American literature, today we will be discussing historical fiction. Historical fiction is a kind of fiction that tries to portray a certain time period or historical event while adding to or altering the facts to creating a storyline. Often the historical event is told through the eyes of a fictional character, and sometimes the historical facts are altered to improve the storyline. One of the finest examples of historical American fiction is the Little House series written by Laura and Moira. How many of you are familiar with the series of books? I'm sure you are all familiar with the television series that was based on it. The Little House book began as a record of the stories part of Laura when she was little. The first book, Little House in the Big Woods, was a success. Laura Wilder was asked to write a series of stories, not the history of her childhood. The point I want you to understand clearly is that every incident in Laura Wilder is true, but Laura purposefully did not tell the whole truth. She wanted to write books that she felt were appropriate for children. What she did was to leave out events and alter names that were unpleasant. An example of an event that Laura omitted because it was unpleasant was the life of the fourth in-law's child. The fourth child was a boy. A boy named Charles Frederick Ingalls, who died before his first birthday. The life of this child was omitted from her books. Another example shows how Laura changed the name of the people portrayed in the back right. Nellie Olson was a character in the book rather than a real person. This character was based on a composite of two girls in Brown Creek, Nellie Owen and Jenny Masters. Two girls who caused Mary and Laura a lot of trouble. Laura didn't want you to use the real name of these, but some girl in her books. From these examples, we can see that one of the ways that Laura made her stories more appropriate for children was to make her stories a little more pleasant than her life had actually been. Another technique she used to make her stories more appropriate for children was to simplify the storyline. Now we will see another example of how Laura simplified storylines by omitting the events that actually happened because she wanted to make the story easier to follow. Laura altered the description of the moves that her family actually made for the sake of simplicity. In real life, the family moved from the Big Woods to Missouri, then to the Indian Territory, back to the Big Woods, and finally to Minnesota. In the Little House books, Laura recorded Ingalls moving from the Big Woods to Indian Territories and then to Minnesota. There are many other such detailed events that Laura felt were not appropriate for children. These changes are what moved her work from the genre of autobiography to the genre of historical fiction. In summary, although the Little House book records true historical events as they happen, the series is considered historical fiction rather than autobiography because Laura Wilder omitted events and altered names to improve the storyline and make her book appropriate for children.